Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Natasha Dikoka and I'm here to show you how to paint your kitchen cabinets. In this case we have an old kitchen cabinet that is made out of solid wood, so we don't have to worry about primering. They already been pre-sanded, and the first step in this case would be degrease them. Okay. If you are dealing with non-porous laminate or false wood or glossy finishes, I would highly recommend you to use Primer Dikoka. Okay, this is the water-based primer, really easy to apply. The techniques are exactly the same how to apply Paint Dikoka, and please watch our basic technique videos to get a better idea how to work with our product. Today is an advanced class and I am here to demonstrate you how I apply paint on kitchen cabinet surface. For those we need three sizes of brushes: 3-inch, 2-inch and 1-inch brush, and I will walk you through when I'm gonna use those brushes. So in this case, I want to make sure that you guys stir your paint to the consistency of yogurt. We already talked about it, that basic technique, but I want to remind you that all ingredients, all the chalk have to be mixed really well to the consistency of yogurt and ready to go to the surface. Don't be scared, it's very simple process. I already have one scoop on the top of the surface. I'm gonna transform one more. Like I said, I dip the brush into the paint and transport the paint on the surface. So at this point I have 3 scoops of paint, and I start zigzagging over the surface by changing directions, and I'm going from the top to the bottom, back and forth by kind of pushing chalk paint into the surface. So just make sure that you kind of like put in a little bit of pressure on your brush. Like I'm gonna slow motion right now for our viewers, so you could see how much paint I do have on my brush. I don't have to go back to the container. I could use the entire paint on the brush and even transport the paint over the small sides, but they are not important. I'm gonna take my 1-inch brush for the small boards. Just make sure that there is no much paint accumulate into the corners and edges. Just pick up extra paint, and my final touch would be 3-inch brush. I'm gonna go back and forth for now, just kind of even nice paint over the surface, and my next step will be from the top till the bottom. As you see, I'm not zigzagging anymore, I just go in one direction. My final touch will be from the top till the bottom by the wood grain. From the corner, if you see, like I stuck my brush right into the corner and go all the way surface to the end. And again, from the top till the bottom, no pressure at all, like I'm kind of like patting my cat very softly. And please make sure that you keep your hands straight, that you don't make rainbows. The line's supposed to be perfectly straight. Now our center is complete and we are stepping into the frame. So I'm gonna get more paint, and the way I apply over the small surface paint, I just go opposite direction and then I connect the lines, and I'm gonna zigzag back and forth. And I may gonna take my 1-inch brush and go on the small edges right here. Okay, I'm just doing that in the front of the camera, but when you guys doing that in your own studio, you're gonna walk around your board and look from all the perspectives of you. But I just want to make sure that all four sideboards are completely touched up with paint and no drips, no puddles in the corner. Okay, I'm kind of like beating up a little bit with my brush into the side, just getting more paint out of the bristles because it's a lot of paint in that brush. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit extra for the final touch on this corner, and final edge. Here we go. Make sure all pores are completely covered with paint. And my final feather touch with 3-inch brush, I'm gonna close split paint opposite direction around the entire frame, and then I will do 1, 2, 3, 4 connection lines, feather touch. And here's our first layer. Voila! Next step, we're gonna apply second layer after the board dry. In this case, I already have pre-painted board for you, so we're not losing any time, and we are keep going with our class. So this board dry, and I recommend you make sure that base coat is dry overnight, so it's kind of have time to cure.